There we go. Cool. All right. Cool. All right. Let's see. Get one more thing going. Let's see. Go to here. All right. Okay. Let's get our chart set up. Give it a couple seconds. See if people from Discord are going to join. Perfect timing. Got some alarms. All right, let's go look at these alerts. We do have a dip going on right now. Kind of late into it, but if you wanted to take a short position on there, I would do only like a quarter of your whatever your normal is. So if your normal is 10,000, I'd probably only do like 2,500 or so, because it doesn't look like it's going to stay down there. So we'll wait for this next chart to close. But if we get a pump up, to this red line, we're going to take a short there. So we're just getting it set up. If you wanted to jump in already, that's okay too, because it looks like we're fixing to have a pretty big dip. We do have a double top pattern going on, so we just need to break that double top pattern. As of right now, wait and see if we can get, because everything's pushing down, right? So all the indicators are pushing down, so we really want to take a position close to that red line. But let's go see if I can hide it real quick. Let's go to the 4-hour chart and set up our 4-hour chart. And you can see even on our oscillators, we have lower highs and we have higher highs on the price action. So either we're going to break above this, and go long and make a new higher high, or we're going to break down below this line on there. So we can clearly have a divergence, and that divergence is right there. Everything above this line, we'll try to come back to that line. So that's something to keep in mind on the 4-hour chart. Let's get rid of that. Let's go to the 2-hour chart. 2-hour chart's my favorite. And you can see that we have higher lows on the oscillator again, and we have lower highs on there. And we start way back over here. Way back over here, we have this. Everything broke above it, came back down and touched it. And now all this, we're going to come back down to, what is this, 24,400. We'll get down there. We're going to break down here pretty soon. But everything is pushing down. Everything looks like down. This chart, this 2-hour chart, closes in 17 minutes, and we're going to be all red. We really want to break below that line, that the moving average right there. That's where we really want to do it at. But let's go look at the alerts so we can delete them. So here's XLM on the 20-minute chart. We have a nice red. See, the problem with what you have going on right now on there, what you have going on right there, is that when you get between these two moving averages, you have ping pong. This is saying we're heading down. So again, this is a 0.25% trade that you would want to take, because we are going to be in between these two moving averages. When you get inside these two moving averages, they become ping pong to you. They just go back and forth, back and forth. Let me see. Let's look at Doge. Here's our something that we marked. I don't know what we marked, but remove drawings. Here's Doge. We're completely maxed out. Anything below this line, as long as we don't make a new lower low on the oscillator, that means that we're not going to head down any further. So if you are looking to go short and Doge, this is where you're going to definitely want to target, because look at your oscillator. The oscillator starting to lose momentum, means it's probably going to go up here and mess around over here a little bit and then come back up. So that's not a good position either. Here's Litecoin, another alert that we got. Litecoin on the 20-minute chart, and you can see that we did break down already. Oscillator's moving down, but when this bottom oscillator, this is the momentum indicator. These gray zones are, you don't really want to go with that gray zone. We want to, if it's the gray zone's on the top, we want to go short. When it's on the bottom, we want to go long. And what we want to do in the middle is we want to do that continuation of that middle. So if we have it down right here, for example, we come right here and we come back up into this gray zone, well, we know that we're heading down, so that's the position that we'd want to take. Long story short, looks like we're probably going to have a nice little pump up. Let's see what it looks like on the 2-hour chart. On the 2-hour chart, looks red, but look right here. We have a double bottom on the oscillator, and we have lower lows on both of them, so we can't use that as a divergence. And divergence is my favorite thing. I love divergences. But we'll be on here. I'll be on live for until 11:30. I'll stick to that schedule. I put that out there for a reason. We won't be live on YouTube every single day. We'll probably just do it once or twice a week, and then we'll do the Discord. So if you're a member of the Discord, then you'll be able to get all the live tradings. Let's go ahead and delete these. Oops. So we can get the next ones. And if there's a coin that you want me to look at while we're waiting for trades, just let me know. See, a lot of people will get in trouble with this right here. We had a nice little downward movement on the 20-minute chart, almost a whole %. And now it's below that line. It looks like it's a good position. But remember, we really want to try to go short on a green candlestick, and we want to go long on a red candlestick. We want to catch the reversals of there. And another little trick, if you do have these indicators, I'll show you a couple of tricks as we go along the way. Another trick that you can have is that you have this red line right here that's on our custom MACD, and then you have the histogram, right? Well, look what happens on the, where's it at? Look what happens right here. Magnet. Hold on, let me turn my magnet off. Look what happens right here. Look at all these green candlesticks. Oops. Look at all these green candlesticks on the you're going sideways, right? But your histogram is pushing down, your oscillators is pushing down, your custom MACD is pushing down. You can take shorts on all these green candlesticks as long as they're going sideways or they're going up just a tad bit. You can take positions on there and you can target the opening of those positions every single time, as long as you don't break above that line. So what you would do is you would take this position, right here and target the bottom, which is 0.14. But if you're doing 5x, it's 2%, right? 2%, I think so. 2% on there. You target 2% and be done. The next time you have a green candlestick, look what happens. You could have done it. You went up a little bit, but your oscillator's pushing down, so there's no sweat in the game. You don't have to worry about it, and you just use this line as your stop loss. So if this line breaks back up, if your histogram breaks back up, Well, guess what? Then you just get out because you can't win them all. And look, it's starting to dip real quick. If we close below the bottom of there, that would be a good entry to go short. But right now we have just a double top going on. We can mark that. It's a long way down there too. But yeah, so that's a little trick that you could use on there. Even like right here, we have the histogram right here breaking above it. All these red candlesticks, all these red candlesticks, you can go long because you know momentum will always lead the way. The momentum will always lead the way. See, look, see if you FOMO in right now, you're probably going to get in trouble, especially if you go short right now, because right now there's a battle going on. Both of your moving averages are above, so they're bullish, and your price action showing bearish. So you just got to be careful with that. But yeah, those are little tricks that if you do have the our custom indicator, I know some people do, you can get in there. And as long as everything's pushing upwards, these are just little corrections. You know what these are? These are people that don't know. All these little sell-offs and all these little buys right here are people that don't know how to read price action. What they're doing is that they see this big massive pump up right here. They see this big massive pump up, and what they do, they think we're still going to go short. So they get in and they ride this little candle down. If they had the oscillators, it doesn't matter, these custom oscillators or any oscillator. You can use any oscillator and just find the good a setting that works for you, and watch the oscillator. You need a momentum oscillator to show you which way the momentum is going. I mean, look at this one. See, if you get into this candlestick right here, and this candlestick right there, everything's pushing down. So most people will try to go long here because it's a big movement. We're already in a bullish momentum. But look what your oscillator says. Your oscillator says we made lower highs. That means that this is just people FOMOing in, trying to go long that don't know how to read the charts. And so guess what happens? They either break even because they hold it, go back over here and break even. But if you have our oscillators and you learn how to trade our style, you could have taken that position 1.15, and guess what? You hit it four, was that 2, 4, 6, an hour later, you hit that target because you know that everything's pushing down on you. I hope that makes sense. And if you have questions, put them into the YouTube, not into the Discord, because I don't have Discord up right now. Let's go look at. And if there is a coin you want me to look at, let me know, because we got 3 hours. And look, here is Ethereum. You have clear breakaway from the histogram from your moving average on your custom MACD, and look what happened. You have a little pullback. You had a little pullback. Why did it get pulled back? Because it came up to the moving average and got rejected. That doesn't mean that we're heading back down. Your oscillators, both of them, are pointing up. So this is a really good one. The only time you won't want to do this type of entry is when it's late into the game. So you can see like right here, late in the game, you still made money off of it. You still made money off of it, but you're late into the game. We want to catch them at the bottoms of the movements, at the beginning of the movements, and go that way. Like even these right here, these are all good entries. And if you get worried about it, then don't take full positions. But like this one right here, it looks like it's going sideways. Your oscillators are saying we're heading down. So the price action has to catch up to the price action has to catch up to your momentum. So what happens is that we take this position, and look, the next candlestick is 0.29. If you waited it out, you went negative a little bit, and then look what happens. And you never break above your moving average on your MACD. It's good stuff. It's easy to trade. It's just time consuming, and that's why I try to set up the indicators in the indicators in the Discord so you don't have to watch them. And I think at the end of this month or the beginning of the next month, I'm not for sure. Let's see. Can you maybe look at Sol? There's a beautiful thing going on. Okay. So I don't like the 1 hour chart, but I'll go look at it. I think the 1 hour chart gets a lot of people in trouble. Yeah, see, look right here. We're heading up, but we haven't made a new higher high on the oscillator. So you just got to be careful. Everything that comes above this line, as long as this is heading back down, we're gonna come back down to that blue line, which is 22.19. Let me show you another little trick on how to use this custom MACD. So this custom MACD, you can use it for breakouts too. You really want to hold that. Let me find a good one for you. Here's a good one. Let me get rid of all this. Here is your breakout. So you have a trend line that's there, and you can see that you break above this line, and look what happens. You go up a little bit. These are good to trade. They just more confirmation of it. But on the 2 hour chart on Sol, we have a really ugly candle. So it looks like we're heading down. Are you asking to go long or go short? Because I definitely wouldn't be going long right now. It looks a little sloppy to me. Because look at your oscillators are pointing up. So if you do take a position, just know that if you do take a long position, I would definitely target a short amount and then get out, because you do have a divergence going on over here. Let me do something real quick. Yeah, 2 hour charts and 20 is my my favorite. Let me get this going. All right. See what it looks like on the 20-minute chart. 20-minute chart, look what happens. We're starting to push back down. You have a quicker divergence on the 20-minute chart. Everything above this line is going to come back down as long as you're below it. Okay. Let's see. No, of course, to the downside, back to the line of 23. Yep. Yeah, look, it pumped up on here. I mean, look at this one right here. Here's a good example. You have a downward movement. Here's a green candlestick. Even this green candlestick right there. This green candlestick, you would have got into it. 0.66%. I mean, if you're 5xing, I don't do more than 5, maybe 10 if it looks really good. But 5x at that 3%, 3%, especially if you're trading $10,000 at 3%, it's huge money every day, every single day. It's huge money. The idea behind trading is not to hit a home run every single trade. The idea is to get a base hit, and then another base hit, and then another base hit, and then another base hit, and then finally you start scoring money. So that's the idea behind trading. You don't want to go for home runs. You'll hit a home run. You'll get into a position where you'll be able to catch it and be able to set your stop loss. But I try to get base hits every time. I don't try to go for home runs. Here's a nice little movement up and all these red candlesticks. You can take them. And if you get stopped out, oh well, it's part of the game. You're not gonna be able to be perfect on there. But like right here, you're at the very bottom of you're in the gray zone and you're breaking up and you have all three of these red candlesticks are all good entries. Even if you got into this entry right here, even if you got into this entry right here, you just set your stop loss. You'll you know that your stop loss is going to be 1.55. So if you wanted to target 1.55, you could, or you can just do it. But if it keeps selling off on you, don't panic, because this right here, this movements right here, is people that seen this downward movement and then they see it drop like crazy, and what they do, they go in short. This is called FOMOing in. Don't do that. Trust your oscillators, trust your indicators. And again, these are not special indicators. These are not like fancy magical indicators. You can use any indicator that you want to, and they all work. You just got to know how to use that indicator. Sol, we have a close below it, but really we don't want to take a short position just quite yet because we're still above that moving average. Dot looks a lot better than anyone, but again, we're right here along this gray zone in the middle, and we're going sideways. So we're not, the dot is indecisive of what it wants to do. Man, I had this chart all messy. Oh, that's a 2-hour chart for me. Okay, see, if you would have taken that position, short, you'd be screwed right now. Why? Because you're not into it at the very beginning. You really want to catch these movements over here. These movements right here. These are the movements that you want to try to catch, because if you catch the movement at the beginning of of the uh the breakout, or the movement that's going your way, it's going to be a lot less stressful. But again, the oscillators are pointing down. So if we push up and we touch this red line, there's no reason why not to take that position, because that's just people coming in. So if we come up and we touch that red line, I will be going short. Let's see what Ethereum looks like. Ethereum usually leads the way. Again, on Ethereum also, if we push up and we touch these two lines, I'm going short because everything is pushing down. I'm gonna turn my camera off real quick because I'm gonna go get me a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Give me like 30 seconds. All right, man. There we go. Look at that. Might have to hold on to a little bit longer. That's okay. This one doesn't look too good because it's been going sideways quite a while, but the other two are definitely looking good. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that. See, if you waited for the proper entry, look what happens. You're down there. Might still push up on you, but it's okay. See what the other ones look like. Ah, if we would have seen that one, that would have been a good one. Excellent. See what happens when it gets in there? Starts ping ponging around. That's why it's really good to wait. Though I do think that we're gonna head back down, but it's really good just to wait for the proper entry. And lower volume coins, you got to trade different than the high volume coins. So if you trade Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin, the way that with the greens and the reds, that's okay. You want to stay away from trying to do that to the altcoins because that's a little dangerous. Because altcoins move way too much, way too quick. See everything pumped up just a tad bit. And see we're down here at the bottom. We made a low, a higher low, a low, a higher low, a low, a higher low. That means that we're either probably going to go sideways on GLM or we're going to do a little pump up. And profit on both of them right now. The next the next candlestick's probably most likely going to be red. But again, if you're leverage trading, you're in really good profit right now. Really good profit. Look at that. This is awesome. I love this stuff. Let's see what you're in profit right now on there. You're in profit 1.7 right now off of Bitcoin. If you 5x it, that's three. What is that? 3.5%. If I did it right, 3.5% off of 5x. If you 10x, you're at 7% right now. Why? Because you waited to trade. You saw that it's forming. You know any pump up right now is going to come right back down because your momentum is pushing down. On Ethereum, you're roughly 0.5%, but at 5x, you're 2.5% in profit. So I mean, waiting is the key. Never FOMO in, and that's it. I mean, we called it. We called that it was going to pump up. We know that it was going to pump up because people are going to do that. We're in an upward movement. We're in the upward movement. And you can see when this had a little dip, what's going to happen? People are going to try to think that it's going to continue to go long. People with FOMO money coming in, and that's what happens. We don't FOMO in. We ride and we take their money on the FOMOing. And look, we're both in profit on both. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Just make sure you protect your profits because it's you want guaranteed money, right? You want it in there. Like, man, we missed this little pump, didn't we? That's 23%. That would have been awesome. And look, it pumped up. You know this ain't gonna stay there because your oscillators are pointing down. All your oscillators are pointing down. Your histogram got a little whacked off because of the whole pump. But look, this oscillator is telling you, hey, this is baloney. This is just a pump. And look what happened. Pump, dump on you. This is ATM. XRP. XRP is starting to go sideways on you. XRP is another one you got to be really careful with because if you start going sideways on there, then it could literally pop anyway. You really want to catch the movements. Even this movement was a little iffy because you already had that, so you made a double bottom. But you still, if you would have taken that momentum right up, look what happened. But you wouldn't have taken that one because you really want everything to be in sync with each other. We want everything green, everything red, and so forth and so forth. Look at that. Look at that. Man, this is awesome. Right now, you are in 0.88% on Bitcoin, and you're crap. And you are 0.58 on Ethereum. So again, on this position right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out 80% of my position, and I'm going to put the other part, the other 20 at break even. Why not take the guarantee money, let the little bit 20% ride, and let it go down? So hold on, give me 1 second so I can do that on both of them. I'm going to do it on both of them. I'm going to close out 80% of the position, and I'm going to put at the break even. I'm going to put the other ones on there. All right, and then I'm going to, where is that current interval? I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put a line right there. I'm going to, so I don't have to only once, cross the horizontal line. And now I have a signal going into, you little dummy. Don't pay attention to that in Discord. I knew that was going to happen. I should have done it on the 5-minute chart. Let's go down to the 5-minute chart and redo it. Don't pay attention to that one on Discord. I messed up the. There we go. Crossing the horizontal line once. All right. So now if it crosses, we'll get an alert in Discord for us to close out that trade. Again, going to do the same thing here. I'm going to get on here and copy this. Go down to the 5-minute chart, put our horizontal line there. And if it comes in there, we just close it. Now we have both alerts on there. So now we don't have to do anything. Just wait and watch and see how it goes out. If it crosses and we close out, who cares? Because we've already closed out 80% at 2 or 3%. And now what do? We just wait for the next signal. But again, the idea is to ride the momentum. A lot of people will say uh, price action is king, and if it works out for them, that's great. That's awesome that it works out for them. I am not a price action trader. I tried it and I got wrecked a lot. So I just try to ride the momentums. The momentum trading is a lot easier for me than the what you call it, and then the price action. Candlestick patterns are amazing to use, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be perfect. Momentum has a better chance of going when with the price action, and momentum will always lead price action. So price action to me is not king, it's second hand to the king, which is the momentum, because momentum always goes first. I shouldn't say always, maybe like 99% of the time it does. So see, if you start trying to take these positions right here, you're late into the game. You're going to get stressed out. Catch these movements, and all these signals right here are all into Discord. So if it doesn't say anything, then it's the 20-minute chart. So all these are set there, so you don't even have to pay attention. Just when they go off, you just go there and you look at them. So all those are in there. So if you're in Discord, you can just wait for the signals to go off. And if you have the custom indicators and you're a member of the Discord and you have the custom indicators, you can set them up yourself if you want to tweak them a little bit or change them a little bit. But again, they're not. There's nothing special. You can put any momentum indicator on this chart and it'll work. You just got to find the right settings for you on there. So no, of course. So this is a beautiful setup. We got lucky catching it because we're live on YouTube. But this is, you can take this short position every single time because your momentums are pushing down. Even if the next candlestick was green on you, it doesn't matter because the momentum is down and it's going to push down. Is there another coin you want me to look at? Man, this would have been a great one. These are easy trades too. You wouldn't want to take a full position on them though. You'd want to put like if you saw this mat jump up like this. First of all, you don't want to try to catch it going up, right? You want to do it at closing. Closing price is where you want to do it at. If you would have taken this position, put $100, in my opinion, what I do is I put $100 into it, and if it rides back down to it, you retrace 100%. You just made $100. So there's no reason to put 10, 15,000 bucks into, not even 1,000, not even 500. Put like $100 in there, because if you get stuck in it in there and it goes up 20%, you only lose $20. But if it goes down 100, retraces 100%, you just made $100. That is the trades you want to do all day long when you see them. I just don't know how to. I don't know how to set notifications on pumps. TradingView does have a pump notification system, but if you set it does it like really craziness. So you have to set it at like a percentage. Well, I don't want a percentage on there, so I wanted to, like, if something's abnormally like this one's small candle, small candle, small candle, bam. it jumps up. I want this notification, and I haven't figured out how to do that. So look at our XLM trade. If you would have taken it, you'd be in profit right now. You would have got stressed out a little bit. But again, momentum is down. Momentum is key to trading on there. So if you did take that position, you're in profit there also. You're in profit 0.45 as of right now. And we just wait it out. If you wanted to close out again there at 0.45 at 5x is 2%, little less than 2%. Close it out and then put your 20% over there and let it ride. Let it ride, because if you have 20% and it rides all the way down, that's huge amounts of money too. And if you get stopped out at the break even, who cares? You're already made money off of it. So 3 for 3 on live trading so far. Why? Momentum. It's the only key. Momentum. And this setup right here is absolutely common in cryptocurrency also. You have a nice little pump, then what happens? Your oscillators start turning red on you, and you have another little pump, little fella right here, 0.58 on there. Clear as day, momentum is pushing up. So that's a good position to take short on, because you know it's coming back down. Any other coins? Let's go through them one more time, and then we'll we'll go look at the Bitcoin on the day chart, because all we're doing is waiting anyway. Okay. Let me change this where. Okay. Let's see what we got going on the day chart with Bitcoin. See, Bitcoin, if you have these settings, they work really good on the day chart. But look right here, we have a new higher high, but right here, everything above that came back down and touched that line. Here's your momentum, here's another momentum. Everything above that is going to come back down and touch that. Let's see. Get rid of this stuff. It's easy to zoom out and see what we got going on. And once you start doing this, you'll be able to see the patterns, because here's a scallop pattern right here. We had, and that means that this is probably going to go sideways for a couple days, maybe a day or so, before it starts dropping on you. And we'll come back down here and touch these moving averages and stuff like that. But let's see what Ethereum looks like. And look right here. I mean, these oscillate. Like if you take a position on a day chart, in my opinion, I would definitely not take a full position, because you're gonna have to have a decent sized stop loss. So whatever your normal position is, I would do like a quarter of it or a 10% of it, because when you trade higher time frames, you have no choice but to have a pretty decent size stop loss. And you really want to manage that stop loss, because that's how you become prosperous in trading. You want to manage your stop losses. They're gonna happen. They're going to happen. No trader can be perfect on every single trade. So you're gonna have to have stop losses. But as long as you have the highest probability chances of everything flowing into your way, then that's great for you. But say, look, we're fixing to get stopped out. But again, we've already made money on this. We've already closed out 20% or sorry, we closed out 80% of the position, and we're just waiting it out. Hey, where's my did I delete it on accident? Oh man, I did. I deleted it on accident. Well, we're in profit on Bitcoin. Our stop loss is somewhere right there. Close out 80%. And let's see. Ethereum closed out 80% already. Looks like we're going to come back up here. If we get stopped out on it on the 20%, we still made money. XLM, we're still in profit. Litecoin, looks like we're trying to break above it. So here's another position or another little tidbit that you want to learn. This moving average is your higher moving average. That thing's completely pointing down. So anything that comes up here and touches that, it's not going to be able to stay above that just right off the bat. It might come up here and go sideways on you, but it's going to come back down here and test that moving average because everything's pushing up on it. For example, like this one came down, it pointed down right here. It looks like it's pointing down, and look what happens. You have the correction, it came back down and touched that. So you got to wait for those good entries to take on there. Man, I hope we don't get stopped out. I'm hoping that we can ride that down for another percent, but it doesn't look promising to us. But again, we're 3 for 3 in trading. And think about it. If you trade $1,000 in each one of those trades, and you made 3%, 2%, and 2% on there, what is that? 2, 3, 3, 5, 7. You made 7% off of it. Let's see. Was that $70 times 7%? Yeah, you made $70 today so far, and it's free. This is free training right now. We will charge. We're gonna charge a membership once we get everything set up. But if you're already in Discord, you're gonna get a discount. So if you want to join, this is the time to join because you'll be able to get it set up. And it's gonna be a affiliate too. So if you want to join and you want to learn how to trade and do live trading, then it'll be great. But it will be affiliate. We're going to charge $50, and then we're going to give away 30. So, but that's probably going to be in like another maybe month or so. We got to get everything set up and stuff like that. So right now, for the next month, you get trading for free, and you'll get to see that we can make money off of trading. Oh man. Hopefully we don't get stopped out. Looks like we're going to though. See, Doge is a piece of junk coin in my opinion. Seeing if you got into on the day chart, you took a position, all these positions right here, you could have taken a position anywhere in there, and you know that your chances of going down are extremely high because your momentum is pushing down. Momentum will always lead price action. price action is not king, in my opinion. Momentum is king. But if you did take those trades, put depends on which platform you're trading on. But if you can put not your position size, but just your percentage that you made into the Discord, that'd be awesome. I'd appreciate that. 12-hour chart on Litecoin doesn't look too good. We had that correction bouncing off of the moving averages. Let me show you another trick. It doesn't work all the time, but it does work sometimes as long as the momentum's in your favor. You can see that you had a pump up and it touched this this moving average on the higher time frames. You can see that it pushed up. You could have taken that position. You could have taken that position just for a small scalp, but you want to use that as a very, very small position, maybe like 1% of your portfolio that you usually trade, and do that. Those are easy scalps too. But you know that it's not going to come back down. You know this. Why? Because your momentum is pushing up. You know your momentum is pushing up. So this little scalp, you know you're going against the trend already. But those are easy little scalps too. Maybe we won't get stopped out. Maybe it's going to drop back down and make us a little bit more money on our 20% that's still in there. I think I accidentally deleted this one. Put that one back on. And now we have both of them back up on there. Another thing that I don't do is I'll go to the lower time frames just to set the alerts and stuff. But if you trade on a 20-minute chart, stay there. Stay at the 20-minute chart and trade. Wait for price action to go back up, like we said. Touch this moving averages. You know everything's pushing down, so you know it's not going to stay there. And so wait for them. But if you go to the 5-minute chart, and here's a little pump up, what would you do? You're going to freak out because you're going to think that this pump up is changing directions on the lower time frame. That means it's going to change directions on the higher time frame, and that's just not true. And you can see right here that's exactly what happened. So take those positions, stay on the chart that you're trading, and use that chart as your friend. I think we're going to get stopped out on our 20%. Or not, yeah, 20%. Mm-hmm. Bitosaurus. Do you have any other coins you want me to look at besides Sol? We got stopped out on Bitcoin. In profit, though. Sad times. See why it's so important to take out your profits. Take out 20%, or sorry, 80%, and let 20% ride. And we're fixing to get stopped out on Ethereum too. And it's there it is. Good times. Okay, let me delete this. Delete that. All right, and now we just wait for the next signal. No, I'm still thinking of shorting Sol, but I am not sure. Let's go look at it. So Sol is still pushing up on the 2-hour chart. Here is your divergence at the 22. I think it was 23. Let me put my 22.94. So anything above 22.94 is going to come back down and touch that 22.94 because we have a lower low. What you really want to do is if you do take that position, you know that you're going to have to stagger in most likely. So if you take that position and you're saying that the top is at 4% right here, 4%, do what I do is I'll do it like every 0.75%, just stagger into it, and it'll make your dollar cost average better. But on these types of trades, you definitely want to try to stagger in. But I would bet anything that is coming back down and touching this line right here. Matter of fact, we can put that on there. We can put a alert on there if I do it right. Hopefully it don't trigger yet. There you go. Yeah, anything above that line on the 2-hour chart, you might have to ride it up just a tad bit, but yeah, I would bet anything that we're going to touch 22.94 within the next 24 hours. I mean, we are on the 20-minute or the 2-hour chart. See what it looks like on the 6-hour chart. 6-hour chart looks even horrible. You have a hanging man here, a shooting star, or whatever you want to call it. That means that we're probably going to come way down here to 4.29%. But this chart hasn't closed yet, so you definitely want to wait for that one to close. That's in the next 3 hours. Yeah, but I would bet anything that we're going to come back down here and touch 22.94. Even your 2-hour chart is starting to turn red on your MACD, on the custom MACD. So you have clear as day divergence though. Even on the 20-minute chart, you have lower highs going in, saying you have a fight going on. And you have a shoulder ahead. Maybe you'll form another shoulder over here, and then before you drop. Let's see if I know I have the head and shoulder thing over here. There we go. Is that what's going to happen? I don't know. MACD, Litecoins, go check it out. See, here is another position that it does say that we're going up. I would just be very cautious about this one because when it gets in between those lines, again, we start ping ponging and it's really dangerous. So what you really want to have is a real nice, decent breakout. It does say that we're going up. So if we have a pump downwards, if we have like a complete dump downwards, then I would take a position. But right now, taking that position, just right now, I would pass on that one because you're between these moving averages. And when you're between those moving averages, it will ping pong back and forth. Like this one, look at this. Ping pong back and forth, and then it finally breaks out. Most of the time, this time didn't. It broke up and you made money off of it. Like right here, it came down, started going in there, then started ping ponging above it, and then dropped. Right here, this is a prime example right here. It started ping ponging and then bam, it went the opposite way of what you think it was going to go. So I would just be very cautious of taking this position. I wouldn't even take this position, to be honest with you, because it is between the moving average and they're kind of far apart and they're bouncing. But again, that's just me. It does push up. I mean, it does say that we're going the head up. We have everything green. But again, your moving average is pushing down. I would pass on this one. But if you do take that position, that's great. I'm pretty sure you're going to make money, but I just pass on those. And when you're trading, you got to be careful with getting impatient. You want to wait for the proper setups. Some people will think if they're not in the trade, they're not making money, and that's the wrong perspective, in my opinion. I think you should say, I'm not in the trade because I'm waiting for the good setup, so I'm saving money and not trying to force money. So you got stopped out of our trade. But look, again, we're between those moving averages on Bitcoin and we're ping ponging back and forth. And we got stopped out on our Ethereum and now it's starting to drop. Yeah, that's just how it is. Let me delete this. There's a nice little pump up. Yeah, so if I could figure out how to set these without having a percentage, man, that would be great. But again, anything above that is going to head back down. This is your divergence. Anything above that is going to head back down because everything's pushing down. And you clearly have a divergence as long as you don't have a higher high. Wait for the good entries. Bam. All day long. That's on light link. So this is another position where people, or not position, sorry. This is another spot where people will FOMO in. That they would take this long position. Could they make money on the long position? Yeah, but everything is pushing down. I would bet that we're going to go down and touch, we're going to touch this. We're going to, what the heck? We're going to touch that before we make a same direction. So 1.8, 1.78. I believe we'll touch this before we jump up 1.78. Why? Because the momentum is down, downward momentum. So if we would have saw this, we would have done that. 1.78, 1 to 1. Get in there. Whatever. Ah, man. Yeah, so I believe we'll go down there and touch that. Why? Because momentum. Momentum is king. And if you get caught in that position, if you get caught in that position and you jump up there, I definitely wouldn't have a stop loss right there because you have a divergence. So what does that mean? That means we're going to come back down and touch that line. So what we do? We just dollar cost average in and manage our money. But I believe we'll touch here before we touch this 1 to 1 ratio. We'll keep an eye on that one. Everything's pushing underneath it. Everything's down below it. See, another thing I could do, because I'm going to do these live for 3 hours every single day, besides Wednesday, because Wednesday I teach a church class. But on when I see these, we can on in Discord. I'm not going to go live on YouTube, but in Discord, when I see this, we can jump on live real quick on Discord and walk through it together. If that's something that I think will help y'all. If you think that will help, let me know. I'll jump on there when I see these. I have the alerts anyway. Yeah, see, like right here, you would want to be very careful on that one because of the ping pong and stuff going on. But like, see, like right here, we got stopped out. We made money, and we're just waiting for the next entry. If we would have saw that, that would have been amazing. That would have been awesome. Zero point 0.6 already right now. Switch charts. Let's go look at here is the coins that are on Binance. Let's go through them. Really want to look at those on the 2-hour chart. I wonder if I could play music. Can I play music on here as we will listen to it while we trade? Probably get flagged, right, for some like copyright stuff. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Yet there are websites who offer copyright-free music for absolutely zero money, which can be played on YouTube. Yeah, but on live, how would you do it on live? Just something little, a white noise in the background or something, so it doesn't just stay quiet. All right, let's keep going through the coins on Binance. This is the 2-hour chart, by the way. Here's a good one right here. You really want high peaks because you know that that's the correction happening. You had a big, nice sell off. What happens? Everything starts turning green. Look at this. All these little wicks down here. If you're watching it, I know it's difficult to watch it all the time, but if you could watch these little wicks, all these little dips. Man, those are like golden opportunities to take positions because you know your momentum, which is king, is pushing up. So all these little entries right here, these are all golden right here. And again, I won't be live on YouTube every single day. Only like once or twice. The other times we'll be live in Discord, and then Discord we can do whatever the heck we want to do. Say whatever we want. We don't have to worry about being flagged. I mean, I try not to cuss, but because I think it's bad. But I do say them every now and then. And it doesn't look professional either. So. See these are all altcoins, and look what happens. You have the downward movement. We have a downward movement, but when you start coming to this stuff right here, when you start going into this right here, this is. I tried to not take positions in this area because when you start doing that, look what happens. You have your oscillator pushing down, and you have this one going sideways. They're not lining up together. So anything that you take a position on is going to be really risky. I try not to take risky positions, but sometimes I do. But like right here, this is a good example right here. You see it pushing down. You have this nice little pump up. You know it's not staying there because your oscillators are pushing down. So if you see those are like golden opportunities to take that position. And that's what we did on the first 3 trades that we did, or not the 2 trades, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are the trades that we did right then because you know they're not going to stay there. They're going to be going with the momentum. If you can catch at the very beginning, that would be great. Like ARDR right here, we have momentum downwards, but we really want this really high up here into the gray zone. The gray zone is key. And like right here, we don't clear the moving average. Right here, we clear the moving average, but your price, your candlestick is not showing that we're going to head down. Right here, we have a clear breakdown, huge candlestick, bam, down we went. So if you see this type of stuff and you go and you see a green candlestick and it's above the moving averages, you got to be careful with that. You wouldn't want to take that position because that's a continuation pattern, not a reversal pattern. This right here is a reversal pattern, and that's exactly what you got. Now you have choppy stuff going sideways. And look what happens. You're getting in between these moving averages, and look what's happening. Ping-ponging all around. This would have been a good one, too. You have a freaking hanging man right here. 24.8%. See, I would have taken this position all day long if I would have seen it. It's just I can't set all these alerts because the Discord will be going crazy on it. If I set all these alerts on there, you'll get so many alerts that you'll just blow them off. So that's why I just stick with the ones that we trade on Binance or on MT5. But if there is a coin that you want me to set an alert on, I can set the alert. I wish I could put different channels in there and have different webhooks, but you can't do that. You can only have one web hook, which is, I think, is dumb. Again, like right here, this is another good example. You have a downward movement, clearly a below it. I would have taken this position. You went negative. You went negative, but you know you're going to touch that because everything's pushing down. So yeah, I would have taken that position. You know your stop loss is going to be freaking huge, 8%, 9%. So you just put in you break in that up to like five entries. You stagger all the way in. You never break above it. You get this little fella right here, which probably would have scared you. But immediately the next candlestick is red and look right. Two, what is that, an hour? 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6. An hour and 20 minutes later. Oh, I was on 2 hour chart. Sorry. 2, 4, 6, 8 hours later, you made 8.5% off of that trade. Why? Because you know that you're not staying there. Momentum is downwards. And what do we have here? We have some FOMOing people in, thinking that we're still going to go back long, and happens. So if you do take positions like that, trust your indicators. They are amazing. And I said this before, and I'll keep saying it, that these are not special indicators. These are just custom indicators. You can put on any momentum indicator and they will work. So when people say they have a special super duper top secret momentum indicator or price action, they're full of crap. They're just trying to sell you something. That's why we give ours away for free for members that are in there. We don't charge for ours because there's nothing special about them. They're just tweaked to the likings of how I trade. That's it. Nothing special about them. You can put any momentum indicator on there and they will work. You might have to tweak the settings to make them faster or slower depending on which chart you're using. But there's no special indicator that's going to make you a bazillion dollars or anything like that. There's none of that. People that do say that they have several indicators into one and they're all lining up with each other and they're selling them and stuff like that. But I wouldn't buy an indicator. They will all work. XLM, clearly we got stopped out on XLM after we made money. Let's see. Momentum is down on one oscillator and then broke on the next one. Not a good entry. Let's see. This is GLM. We're going sideways. Again, we're below the moving average, so this is not a good entry either. Doge. Doge is trying to break up right now. This is probably the better one of all of them, but still, I would try to wait for a little dip before we go into that. Not a good entry. XRP below the moving averages, and we're trying to push up on one and down on the other. Not a good entry. This is Ethereum. We have both of them pushing up. This would be a good entry for a quick position. We wait for our entry to go back down there, and we want to target 1-to-1, and we can see that we're trying to push up. If the moving average is pushing down, so you got to wait for it to come down and get into our entry, which is on that, which is on that. There we go. We want to target 1-to-1. Not that we're going to ride it all the way out, but this moving average is pushing down, so you got to keep that in mind too. And anything below that is going to come back up. So we really want to wait for the entry. We don't want to prematurely go in, even though that it does look good for us. We want to get our entry on there. Our entry is, what is that? Can't see. 17. Let's see what the 2-hour chart looks like. See the 2-hour chart. looks looks bad, so we're going to not take this trade. So looks like we're trying to push down to get in there. I think you'll be okay to take that trade, but I definitely would pass on that. Let's see. We'll watch it. If this closes red and we still have a breakout upwards, that'd be a good entry. Let's say you have a bunch of notifications coming into Discord, and a bunch of notifications coming to Discord, and very few of them are good. But you have to have them come in because you can't just single them out. If we could set up a notification for the high peaks, that would be great. And they match with each other, that'd be awesome. Let's go back to our, where were we? I think we were on Atom. We got 16 more minutes. No, sorry. We have 56 more minutes for the 2-hour chart to close. Let's see if we can try to find a scalping position on the altcoins. We should get another entry. We'll get one. We have an hour and a half left. Ah, man. Here's a nice little pump up one right here. It's BETA. I'd have two positions on this one. I would have one position right there and then another one on that red line. And we will target the bottom of that. Everything is pushing down. Everything is pushing down. And this thing a little pumped up 0.57%. 0.57% on BETA. That's a good entry right there. Have a couple of entries. If you have to, you're gonna have to break that up into, your stop loss is right at 0.275. So you can break that up into 4 different entries. And the good thing about this is that it tells you the entries. You have this entry, you have another entry right there in the middle, which is 0.09290. And then your last entry would be 0.04515, and let it ride. And I'll set up the take profits and stop losses that goes into the Discord. This is going to be our take profit. Change it to green. Set our alert on it. And our stop loss is up here. We're going to make that red. Ah, man. Make that one red. Put our stop loss on there. we'll come back and check it. Copy chart image. Let me put it into Discord real quick. Let me get to there. Hold on, just give me a second. Okay, there we go. All right, so that one's set up. We'll check it in a little bit. Let's go keep going through these. Blitz. That's a iffy one. I'll probably pass on that one. If we can get, if Blitz gets up here and touches that red line, absolutely go short. That's what I would do. Wait for it on there, but right now I would just kind of hold off on that one. We have a position already in a coin on beta, but we'll see. BNB. Yeah, so if you do have these indicators, if you are a member of the Discord and you do have these indicators, when you start seeing this action right here, the two moving averages coming together and then everything starting to go in the 0 line and the 50 line, stay away from that. Wait for the good entries to happen. And if you miss an entry, oh, it is what it is. Wait for the next one. Don't force stuff. Bitcoin. Man, if Bitcoin and Ethereum drop on us, I'm gonna be upset. Especially since we got stopped out. I mean, we made money off of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy that we made money, but I would prefer not to do that. Get rid of that coin. Don't trade that trash. Beta is already dropping. Just be patient. The notifications will go into the Discord. I set them up already. Cake would have been another decent one. Came up there. We have this tested. Would have been great, but we missed it. Cielo, man, Cielo would have been great too. Look, you have your oscillator pushing down. What happened to my other one? Yep, man. See, if I could figure out how to set these up where I can get these notifications without giving a bazillion notifications. Everything is pushing down. We had this little pump up. Look what happened. 1.22%. Oh well. Oops. Man, that would have been a good one too. Again, I mean, you can't catch them all, but those are like the best entry positions that you could possibly take. Here's another one. If we would have saw this one, if it does get up there and touch that top in there, you know that it's not going to stay there because your price action or your momentum is pushing down. Another good one to watch. Yeah, see, when you go through the charts, you're gonna start getting frustrated because you see all the crap that you miss because you can't watch all the freaking coins. Look at this one. This one would have been a great one too. 0.85, 5x. You're at 4.5% or something like 4.25% already. Great position to take. It's an amazing position. This would have been the greatest one because look, we're heading down. We're heading down. We have a nice little pump up for the correction, and this would have been great. It's 1.92%. And look what happened. A couple hours later, Money in the bank. CKB, we have a nice little pump up on CKB. Wait for the correction. Your bottom, your momentum indicator, your mom indicator is not making a higher high. That tells you that this thing's going to probably come back down. Let's see what it closes in 46 minutes. This is not a trade, but I'm going to put it into the Discord so I can remember to look at it. Just for me to look at it so I can do it. So we're going to watch that one because I think that one's going to be a good setup for us. And it's going to make pretty decent sized profit too. Close Sol. Let's go check that out. Look. Bitsaurus, are you on there? Did you take that position? I should do this for a living. Look at that. Amazing. If you what was your entry position did you take on it? You're sitting at what? 1.25. Sadly, I didn't. Oh, so I'm like doing all this work for nothing. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so, but see, this is a prime example of why divergence is the best thing to trade. I love divergence because they work so much of the time, and they're easy to spot and they're easy to trade. But yeah, that would have been a good one. And we're still gonna head down, but I think we're gonna form this right shoulder first. So let's see how it plays out. On beta, we're in profit right now. Let's see how much. Oh, my bad. Let's see how much we're in profit right now. 0.17. That's nothing right now. 0.17 times 5, you're looking at, what is that, 1.25% profit just right now. I think we'll get down there, so I'll just be patient on that one. All right, I forgot what coin we were on. Maybe chess. If there is the right shoulder, I will for sure. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it for you. I'll put when I get off this live. We got another hour and 15 minutes. When I get off this live, I'll set that alert to go into the Discord for you. And I'll be live again tomorrow on YouTube at 8:30 my time, Central Time, and we'll trade for 3 hours also. So we'll trade live for 4 days of the week. I just can't do it on Wednesday because I have a class I teach on Wednesdays. Is that the coin that I put in there? Let me see. CKB. Yeah. Yep, CKB. It's gonna look good. We want to wait for these histograms to turn red. So even if this thing pumps up on you, you don't want to go short on that because because the momentum is upwards right now. So, but if it starts turning red on you, yeah, that's when you want to try to go short. Wait for the close on this one. That's another good one to be watching. You had a nice little pump up, and then now you're starting to come back down. So I wouldn't be too anxious to go into this trade. See, a lot of people also will look at this and say, "Hey, we're heading down. We're gonna go down," which is probably okay to do. But look at your momentum indicator. It's pointing up. So that means that we're probably gonna have, here's a bottom. We're gonna have another bottom, maybe equal or a little bit higher to that, and we're gonna head up on Cocos with an S. Here's another one that I was showing you at the beginning of the video. You had a red candlestick. You had a sell-off candlestick in a green momentum upwards, taking that position all day long. Good God, look at this one. This pumped extremely high. 95%. So these are the ones that I will gamble on all the time. I would put $100 into these, and set your stop loss at 50% or whatever, and you lose $50, and in return you're risking $50, and you're going to make $100 off of them. I would do this all day long, every single day of the week, and you can even stagger in on it. And if you lose $50, it is what it is. But if you can catch this momentum moving downwards, you can see that we have a nice little red can or wick up there. Yeah. I'm personally going to do that, and if you want to do it, then go for that. But I will take a position on this one. I'll put only $100 into it, and if I get stopped out, then I'm fine with losing $50. We'll go check that out in a second. Let me get this set up first. Get out of there. Turn my thingy on. Clearly, we're probably going to come back down there, but 100% retracement on there is you'll make a lot of money. So I'll copy this, put it into Discord. Give me a second, sorry. And let me go set up my trade. Yeah, I wouldn't do thousands of dollars on these types of trades, but I'm willing to lose $50 to make $100. I'll do that all day long. All right. All right. Good times. Let's go check out those alerts. So you have junk going on right now. You want to wait for a clear breakout. Not a good signal. definitely not a good one because this is craziness going on right now. We do have it pushing up, but if you have this indicator, let me make it bigger for you. If you have this indicator, you have a number right here. This -1 is still saying that we're pushing down. Though it's turning green, this is just a little notification that, hey, we are turning green, but we're still negative right now. So you got to be careful. Wait for that to turn positive. See, negative. Here's XLM. What happened to XLM? We didn't get above it, but and then we closed our soul position. That if we did take that position, you would do it. If you did take that position, you're 4 for 4 for today. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. All right, so those were not good indicators or good alerts. Let's go back to finance coins. Man, I forgot where we were again. I think we did Doge. I forgot where we were. Anyway, we'll start right here. Quick question. The table on the EMA transformer has 3 alerts, 1, 2, and 3. What is the difference? So the transformer indicator is the one is the changing of the directions of the MACD or the moving average. 2 is a transformer itself, and 3 is if they line up with the MACD. I think there's a video in Discord under education that shows you how to read those if you, I might be mistaken, but if not, I'll repost it in there. Dot, man, see this would have been a decent one. You would have gambled on that one too. Everything's pushing down, pushing down, pushing down. We had a little pump up of 1.12. Yeah, it's good times. Nice little pump up on EGLD. Anything above this is going to head down. This one in what, 34 minutes? If that turns red on us, that'd have been a good position. If it pumps up again, that I mean, in my opinion, that's all day long. You can take that. You have a clear divergence going up, and that's why that price action is being pulled back down to that line, because you have a divergence. Now your momentum is pushing up, but it's on a really slow angle. That means that we're probably going to come up here, maybe pump up a little bit, go sideways a little bit, but we'll come back down and touch that 4, 5, 8, 9. We will do that. Let me change this to a 5-minute chart so it doesn't notify us when it does it. I gotta get to a so your stop loss or your entry, next entry is going to be 5%. So you wouldn't want to take a full position on this, right? Because we want to manage our money. So you did take that position. Target is 1.6. Close out 80% and then ride the 20%. 1-to-1. Just not yet. Don't take this position just yet. We want to wait for this to get set up. But we're just monitoring it right now. We have what, 32 minutes left. See what the lower time frames look like. Yeah, so you had a huge sell-off right there, and we're going up. If we come up here and touch this top of it, absolutely, that's a entry position for sure. You will touch this, in my opinion. I do believe your favorability in this trade is pretty high. You have a divergence, you have a slow moving upwards, we have a organic growth, pulled back down. Your momentum indicator is starting to look like it's starting to go sideways. We still have a 1 on there, so we just got to wait for that to turn to 0 or negative. But this is a good entry, or a good trade setup right now. If it gets up there and it touches that top again, makes a higher high on this side right here, well, you can take that all day long. So, but yeah, anything above that will come back down and touch that red line. So if we get up to the 5%, oh, that would be beautiful. But we will touch that line. I've set up the alert in there also. ELF. EOS. Nice little pumpity pump. EXP. Man, see that this is the ones that you could take these all day long. You went negative, but you know that you're not staying there because of your momentum is downwards. Your momentum started turning red. Here is your true entry right here. Red, everything's red, red, red. Here's your true entry. 1.04 stop loss. And look what happened. You're headed down. Now you have the same thing that went on with the Bitcoin and the Ethereum trade that we did at the beginning of the video happening right now. Come up here and touch this red line. Go short. Everything is pushing down for you with a quick scalp. Money in the bank. That's a trade that we were already in. Want to wait for that to be set up. But if we would have taken, let's go look at that real quick. If we did take that position, you went up a little bit. Your would have been 0.38. Your break even now, but 0.38. See, that was a little risky one because of the 2-hour chart. Everything looked nice, but this was a little risky on the 2-hour chart. So I think that's why we passed. In between these moving averages, you're going to have a nice little breakout. When you do have that breakout, make sure it's not a fake out. And by knowing that if it's a fake out is by looking at the momentum indicator, see which way that we're pushing down or pushing up, whatever way. FIO. Really want to be high up in it. So when I flip through these charts, all I'm looking at is I want to see if we have a high histogram and where your momentum indicator is. That's what you really want to look. We want to have a high histogram or a very lowest histogram. We don't want it in the middle. But when the middle comes, you know that you're going to have a breakout because it's going to consolidate. If you put Bollinger Bands on there, you'll see that it's consolidating and squeezing together. I used to use Bollinger Bands, not anymore. It just makes the chart messy. I think this is the good setup. 4 indicator or 2 moving averages and 2 indicators. I think that's great. You have a momentum indicator and a leading and a lagging indicator. You're good. Here's GALA. Again, when you get in between those moving averages, you got to be careful. You don't want to play ping pong, right? You want to make money. Here's GMT. We broke above it. If we break above and we close above that red line, that's going to be a good entry. So you want to wait. We've got 26 minutes. GTC has a nice little pump. Everything's pushing down. But look what happened. You're between these 2 moving averages and you get ping pong action. High USDT. See, if I would have seen this, I would have gambled on this too. Every time I see an altcoin that has this and it starts going and it starts pumping, I would risk it every single time. I mean, you don't have a quick stop loss, but you're gonna gamble 50% or 50 to go all the way down to make 12%. One right now, 1 to 1. And it's probably going to head back down because you're pushing all the way down. But yeah, the altcoins that pump or dump, pumping's really better because you can take that position because people are going to start taking profits and you can ride the opposite way. If you would have seen that, I take those trades all the time. I only put $100 into them, and I'm willing to lose $100 to make 100, or lose $50 to make $100. See, when your histogram starts doing this, you got to be careful. It's probably going to pump up before it dumps. If you're just joining on the live, hit that thumbs up button for me. And if you want me to look at a certain coin, let me know. I'll just put it in the chat box, and I will look at it. KMD. Here's another one that if it pumps up, everything's pushing down. We're in our gray zone down here. So if you do pump up and we touch these moving averages, that's a good little short position. but you know that we're most likely not going to stay there. We're just going to bounce off those moving averages, and looks like we're going sideways to head back up or catch up to the moving averages and dip on you. This is, see, the if you can catch these, if you can catch that right there, that's golden opportunities for you. It's a 2.73%. Everything's pushing down. You have these, all this came through to play. You have this, and then you have people thinking that they're gonna go long forever. You take that position, 2, 4, 6 hours later, you made 2.73% off. And if you made 2.7%, say 3%, so it'd be easy. Five times you made 15%. 15% off of this trade, and you know that it's a good setup. Your probability chances of making money on this setup is huge. It's huge. Why? Because it's a proper setup. This one too, this is another good one. Everything was pushing down. You have a nice little pump up again, but this one would have been a little bit more dangerous because you're ping-ponging inside that. But this right here, we're coming, it looks like this, and probably going to come back down to this support area right there. Let me mark it if I can figure out where it's at. Here's your support area. That's probably where we're going to head back down to in there. Everything's starting to push down. This is where we're going to head into. We'll watch this one too. We'll pull this up tomorrow's chart. Put it in our look at these. Man, dude, I'm if we could catch these, I need to hire employees, right? That's what I need to do. I need to hire somebody to watch some of the charts for me. All this pump up right here, you know ain't gonna stay there. You know it's not gonna stay there. 13%. Why? Because your momentum is heading down. Your momentum is heading down. We have these little pump ups. Those are like golden. Let's go look at our link. On the 20-minute chart. I know why we had that marked. We had that marked because of this. Look where you're at. You're at that divergence. If we break above that divergence, we're not going to stay there. We're going to come back down and touch that divergence. Check our beta trade. Beta trade looking mighty fine for us. If you did take those trades and you are in Discord, if you do, when you do close them, put the percentage in there. That would be great. That'd be awesome. So here's ZRX. We have the momentum, looks like it's pushing down. We have this little fella right here. However, we want to catch that beginning movements. This one, I would have taken this short all day long, dollar cost average to the second one, and look what happened. You hit it. You hit this trade. Why? Because you know momentum is downwards. This is a good trade. If you take this trade and you go negative 2%, you dollar cost average into it at closing, and that means that you're right at there, and you 1.19% made off of that when you had just 2 positions in there and go. Why? Because you know momentum is downwards and you know that it's not going to stay there. All these little pump ups right here ain't going to do any bit of good. You would have closed out on the next candlestick anyway. Then this is 0.46. Next candlestick, you would have closed out, took another position on there, and you could close out at the opening of there, and look what happened. It's easy. Here's another prime example. The moving averages would have scared you a little bit, but you had a nice little pump up, nice little pump up. Everything is pushing down. Your small end moving averages, your higher end moving averages is not. But if you would have taken that position, the little pump up, you would have taken it at the touch of the red line. That's where you would have wanted to take it. Take it there, and right now you are 1% at 5x. You're at 5%. Why is that safe position? Because you know your indicators, these momentum indicators, are pushing down. It's good stuff. Again, it's very difficult to watch all these charts, and also it's very difficult to have all of them set up for that, because because you'll get so many alerts in Discord that it'll just be really confusing to everybody. Zcash or ZEC, I think it's Zcash. Zcash is another one. It pumped up on you. You know it's not staying there because of the momentum. Here's YGG. See, YGG is between the two moving averages. We're starting we're in the gray zone already, which is really good. Wait for that thing to turn green. And this one, both of them turn green, and go long. This is another one that you could have went long on, because you know that you're everything's green for you. Taking that position at closing, ride it up, 1.18% at 5x, 10% made in 2 hours, less than 2 hours. Man. XRP's inside that the ping pong area. We gotta wait for that. XMR, XLM. See, we took that position on XLM and closed out 80%. Got stopped out at 20%, and now we're back into profit if we wouldn't have got stopped out. Good times. Here's another one. This tells us that we're in the ping pong area. Momentum is down. We're still a little bit early into the trade. So you could have taken this little short there, but you want to wait for it to pump back up to that red line. Look at this one. So frustrating. Everything is pushing down. Of course, to catch the very top is not realistic, but 16.97%, you're going to get a piece of that pie. I don't know how big of the pie you're going to get, but you're going to get a piece of that pie. Why? Because you know the momentum is down. You know this little pump is not going to stay there. So out of the 16.997%, you're going to get a little slice of that pie. So you wouldn't have tried to catch this one. This one you wouldn't have tried to catch because your momentum's up. So if you would have tried to catch this one, that would have been, I mean, you would have made money. It would have panned out for you, but that would have been a very risky one because all your momentum is upwards. Beta still holding strong for us. Let's go look at the MT5 coins. Fully in gold. We're between those moving averages. Heading up. It's been great. Should have watched it on the 2-hour chart instead of the 20-minute chart. No, well. Litecoin. Yeah, I saw this was really great. XTZ. We have a fill of the wick that tells us that the next candlestick's most likely going to be green if this one doesn't close green. Ten more minutes for this closing. Look, if you would have saw this one, that would have been a great one. Everything pushing up. We had some red going on. Had another red going on. Bam, money. Got 10 more minutes before this chart closes, and we'll look at them one more time, and then we'll jump off here. If I see that they if I see that they start turning on us, I'll go live on Discord to take trades and walk through the trades a couple times, and we'll see. Nine more minutes. Dun, 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 dun. So worked its way back up again. Where Where would it make sense to go short? Let's go look at it. Okay, so you definitely don't want to go short just quite yet. I mean, though you do have a divergence, right? You still have that divergence turning red on you. So you I mean you still have that beautiful divergence going on. If it goes up there and touches the top of this right shoulder, if the right shoulder touches the top of the left shoulder, and you have a fully engulfed candlestick or a piercing pattern, that's when you would want to go short. So that's around 2360 if you get pushed up there. But we're right at that moving average on the 20-minute chart. So are we going to break above it? Are we going to go back down? I mean, no matter what happens, I do believe we're going to come right back down and touch that 2294. I'll set it again. There, it's set again for you to get out of that position. But yeah, but as long as you have that divergence, and it's turning red on you too, dude. So as long as you have that divergence, I would say anything from I'll show. Let me go back to the 20-minute chart or the 20-minute chart. So anything from here to here is a good entry position. I mean, you could take that position right now and then dollar cost average if you wanted to. Depends on how you feel comfortable trading. But anything in this area is going to be golden for you. The closer to the red line, obviously, is going to be the best. But if you can get into that buy zone, you know that you're going to be pushing down. You might push up and form this shoulder, which that's what it looks like it's trying to do. But anything in this box, it's going to come back down there, I think. I mean, we are below the 50 mark. We are below the 50 mark, and we've been pushing down. If we form that right shoulder, let me do the math on it. So how you measure that is from here to the breakout. So if it does form that right shoulder, and we do have that breakout, we're coming way down here. So we want that right shoulder to be formed to have a really beautiful setup for us to target a higher percentage, 4.07%. But yeah, if we get into this and we close into that, oh yeah, that's golden. That's my opinion. That's what I think is going to happen. I think we will form this right shoulder. Now, if we come up here and we break this head above that head, the whole pattern's thrown out the window. That doesn't stop the divergence from happening, but it would stop this head and shoulders from happening for us. So that's what we want to form. I hope that answered your question. 4 more minutes. But if you did take those trades this morning on those trades, if you put your percentage, just a screenshot of your percentage, that would be great. It'll help me advertise a little bit. Here's link. We're above that. Just trying to push above it. If it pushes above to the 1%, that's worth taking. Anything before that is not really worth it because you don't really want to gamble on a divergence unless you're going to make at least 1 or 2%, especially when the divergence is not set up yet. Man, if we didn't get stopped out on our shorts on Bitcoin and Ethereum, it'd been. I think they're fixing to take a nice little move downwards. move this over here. Let me see where that divergence is. So it's this one. So it's that one. So as long as you don't make a higher high, we're going to come back down and touch that line too, which is 7.274%. But you want to wait for that one to set up because everything's pushing up. So wait for the good entry on the lower time frames. Look, it's already broke above it, came back down and touched it, broke above it again. We'll probably come back down there and touch it again. Let's see if we have any 2-hour chart notifications. And then we'll jump off here. One more minute and 40 seconds. And look there, it's starting to push back down. Oh, it's disgusting. Get stopped out. We get stopped out on our I mean, we made money off of it, but man, this would have been beautiful. We got stopped out on some baloney, and then now it's dropping. That would have been great. That happens to me quite often, by the way, because I always try to protect the profits as much as I possibly can. So I'm fine making money, and then we get stopped out on a wick. Who cares? All right, let's check these and we'll jump off. But I'll still check them out on Discord. So we have an upward movement, downward price action, not a good signal. XLM is trying to dump on us. That means that dump is probably going to happen hard. That's on the 2-hour chart. So I would be careful. If we can get all the way up there to the top, that's where you want to take that short position. A little pump up like it has been doing, but everything's pushing down for you. So wait for that one. Link, we've already went over. I think we're going to come back down here and touch that line and fulfill our divergence. XRP going sideways, choppiness. Stay away from that crap. 20-minute chart on Ethereum. We have an upward movement, a downward movement, and a sideways movement. That's a stay the heck away from it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, hit the little thumbs up button. If not, I'll be live tomorrow at the same time, 8:30, so we can catch a couple of closings of the charts and do some more live trading. I think today we're 4 for 4. But tomorrow we'll try to get some more trades, and I'll post signals into the Discord also today. Other than that, I appreciate it, and everyone have a safe day, and I'll see everyone tomorrow. Where do I get out of here? Oh, there it is.